This is my gear for snow hiking and snow camping, and I need to get all of this in my 60-litre Exped Lightning backpack. Now this weighs 18 kilos. Hi and welcome to No Second Season. I've driven out to JB Plain again. I was planning to do another snow camp and a hike, a snowy hike, and a camp out on one of the mountains. But I've just got here and the snow is very soft and wet. It's not great at all, and I'm debating whether I should even bother staying because there's rain due, well, for the next 3 days. I might go and see if I can do a bit of snow feeding and then think about whether I'm going to stay or not while I'm doing that. Right, I'm on my snow feet. The snow's really wet, so they're not working very well. They just don't glide. You know what a quitter I am. I do feel like going home. It's gone 5 o'clock, it's about 5:15, so it's just starting to get dark, just getting a bit dusky, and it's drizzling. When I quit, I do sometimes regret it afterwards and wish I'd continued, but not a great deal. Doesn't matter. It probably took me 6 hours to pack, so it's a shame if I go home now, but I don't know what else I'm going to do, to be honest, except camp overnight for no reason. I suppose I could do that. Lots of people camp for no reason, don't they? Yeah, perhaps I'll do that. So I'm thinking about staying. I'm just going to try and put up my tarp for the very first time. If I'm successful, then I'll camp. And if I'm not, I'll go home. How about that? If I'm putting the tarp up, it means I need to sleep under trees, against my better judgment. It's starting to get dark. I've managed to put up my tarp. Now that's the first time I've put it up. I won't say it's great, but I'm happy with it for my first effort. I think it should be all right. Folks, I've got the tent up. Made a schoolgirl error. There is a shrub in my vestibule. So here's my first new piece of kit, my thermarest pad. These are my boots and my feet are soaking. They're XTM. You know, they weren't expensive, but it says waterproof. I didn't care what they looked like, but I wanted waterproof, and they're not, and my feet are wet, and it hasn't come down the tops for sure. Whew. I will get one of those little electric pumps at some point in my life. Now, what I thought I'd do to help my R number is I was going to take I saw this on a Facebook post, take your sleeping bag liner and use it as a fitted sheet on your sleeping pad. So I'm going to try that because that will give me an extra 2 layers of protection from the cold. So I'm just having some dinner. I've got Aldi couscous again. It's a different one. It's lime and something. Very nice. I've got a lot to learn with the tarp. I put the tarp up and then I realised this shrub was right in the middle. The knots, I watched and practiced the knots from people on YouTube. And do you know what? When I come to do them, I couldn't remember one of them. I was really rubbish. Today is actually Thursday, the 22nd of September. and it's a national holiday, a one-off, and it's for a National Day of Mourning for the Queen. Not only was she the Queen of England, she was also the Queen of Australia, and so today is a National Day of Mourning. Now, that's very sad. I'm not a royalist, and I'm not an anti-royalist. I appreciate what she's done over the years. To be able to live and work that long with the decorum she has is amazing to me, because at the best of times I have no decorum, and at the worst of times I have negative decorum. So I do admire her, and it's very sad she died, but she lived a long, healthy and reasonably happy life. But also our family, our Australian family, we lost Ryan's mum 4 weeks ago. It's really sad. Kath, she passed away on the 24th of August, and we're all just coming to terms with it, because she was only 59 and it happened all very suddenly, and it's been a great shock to us. I'm really struggling to believe it's actually happened, but so my thoughts are with Kath today, and the Queen, but mainly with Kath, as they have been since she passed away. I've talked about Kath a few times on here. She bought me little knickknacks that I bring along with me, and Kath was, if you could imagine an Australian lady, if you were from the UK and you just imagined an Australian lady, Kath was her. Dry sense of humour, witty, straight to the point, but lovely, generous, very kind and very generous. And she loved our granddaughter, what she called Mackenzie. I call her Bipsy. Bips has brought so much joy to both our lives. I'm thinking of Kath tonight. We miss her. Raise a cup of tea. She loved her tea, and she drank Yorkshire tea. She loved it strong. So to Kath. Morning. I was so looking forward to my first cup of coffee, but I don't know if you can see, but a mouse or rat or something has chewed through my cup in the night. Anyway, my tarp seemed to hold up. I'll show you that later. It rained most of the night. It started about just after midnight, and it just rained and rained and rained. But hopefully my tent is quite dry. Well, the front will be dry, but the back won't, because I didn't put up the vestibule because it's right near the edge of the tarp. I'll show you that later. This is my new pillow. It's a blow-up one. It's got like a soft feel to it. It's not all plasticky. It's got a nice soft feel to it. It's a Cedar Summit Aeros Premium Deluxe. It's quite big. It's really good. It stayed in place, didn't keep skitting about. And it's really comfy, and I didn't blow it up too hard. I just blowed it up so it was nice and squishy. So yeah, that's good. Pleased with that. So a bit disappointed that my new layering it has made me warmer, but not as much as I thought it would. I didn't have my snowboard pants on, so I didn't have quite the same amount of clothes, and my feet were warm, so it has made a difference, because although it was my body that was cold, and my legs, if I could have put my snow pants on, perhaps I'd have been okay. Anyway, I'm going to pack up and go and get a coffee at the car. It's a misty, foggy old morning. This is my camp. I can't believe the tarp actually stayed up. So the tent would have been kept dry mostly, all around until here. And that's definitely, it's not come right out, it's just loosened, I don't know why. And this part of the tent here is wet because that wasn't covered up. But it's the best I could do with having the bush in the vestibule. So I'm quite pleased for my first attempt. There's lots of room for improvement though, especially with my knots. I'm going to have to practice knots and also think harder where I'm going to put it, because you have to think how you can put it, if your tent will go under it, and that the ground is flat under it, and that there's no bushes in the way. Luckily, I keep an emergency kit in my car. I have 5 litres of water, and I also have in this box some emergency items. I've had these cups in my car in the emergency kit. You get 2 of them. They're Aldi, cheap as chips. But there, I now have a cup. I have water, so I can make me some coffee. Yes. Cheers. I'm going to take my stuff down now and get it packed away. That's the tent down. Now with the tarp, I tried to do these quick release knots. First one was a good quick release. This one, I can't see how it undoes. Let's see what the third one is like. Ooh, so that held fine. The other one hadn't come out. The knot had come undone. Yes, quick release failure again. So I'm going to have to spend a bit of time on these and learn how to do knots properly. I watched them for hours and I practiced them for hours, and then completely it all just fell out of my head. Now my tarp is an AquaQuest. It was about 75 Australian dollars, and it's 3 metres by 3 metres, and it's bloody waterproof. It's certainly properly waterproof, but it is heavy, and I reckon, can't remember how much it weighs, but I'm reckoning 1 kilo, and now it's wet, it's a lot heavier. So I'm not sure I'd want to hike with it, but it certainly comes in handy, doesn't it? If you're bike packing or hiking and it's raining and you've got a tarp to keep your tent dry, it'll be brilliant. But the price you pay is the weight. So yeah, I'd have to think twice about taking it bike packing. Anyway, let's get packed up and get home. Look away if you're squeamish. This is my Shewee, and I used it last night for the very first time. I've had it years, never used it. And you just sort of put that up against your kajiba, and then the wee comes out the spout and you can wee in a bottle in your tent and you don't have to get up in the night. It's definitely coming with me everywhere now when I'm camping. So you use it something like that, and it's really easy. It's not messy at all. And I just can't believe I haven't used it before. It just made all the difference. I could drink coffee or tea when I wanted and not have to worry that, oh God, if I do that, I'm going to need a wee later. So, thumbs up for the Shewee. Did I mention, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up? That would be great. A micro adventure, cut short. I didn't get to do my hike. The reasons I didn't do my hike are the snow's wet, my boots aren't waterproof, and they're not for hiking, and I'd get no views because it's foggy completely across the Hotham Valley. Even though it was cut short and I haven't done my hike, I've had a fab time again. and I've learned so much. I learned how to put my tarp up. I learned how that I need to practice doing the knots. I learned that I need to look where I'm going to put it. I learned if I want to wear my snowboard pants in my tent, then I must wear gaiters if I'm snowshoeing or snow feeting, because they get soaking wet. I learned my cheap Anaconda XTC boots are not waterproof like it says on them that they are. So with the snow now disappearing, at least I have a year to save up and get some really good hiking / snow boots that are waterproof. I also learned how to use my Shewee, and that I should have been using it for the 3 years I've had it. It's bloody brilliant. I've learned not to leave anything out that smells of food, like my cup, because the rat chewed through it. He made 2 holes in it. How annoying. I was so looking forward to my first coffee. And I've learned not to be so ambitious on what I do when I come out. The reason I am is because this is a long drive. It's 2.5 to 3 hours, and I want to get in as much as I can. I'll close this video here from me in a very soggy, foggy Mount Hotham. It's a goodbye for now. At the base of the mountain, there's a little town you pass through called Harriettville. I've stopped here at this bakery. I'm going to see if I can get myself some breakfast. But why I really stopped was there's some beautiful mountain forest. Anyway, let's see what this has in store. Cash only.
Le cha-cha-cha.